Good morning, Paula Fernandes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. It's good to see you again. It's been a
I
while.
know. Long time. Yes, yes, long time. How are you doing?
Very good. Very good. Building millionaires, working on improving people's futures. Same thing I've always done, right? What do you
Yes,
have in the
yes.
background there? I love that. You got a sold sign, flamingos.
My sold sign that's currently pending right now. So hopefully we'll have it, down there. Um, my cute little flamingo. A couple of things I love, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
yes, there you go.
Rocking the brand. Yep.
All the time, all the time. But
So
I love your attitude and what you've been doing. Updates on your business, the multiple business. You're the one that's doing it. I see.
hell yeah. I love it,
That's
Paul. So
great.
we met, what, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, you got your license, came back into the business for a little while.
17. So yeah,
3 years
going
ago.
on
So,
three. Yeah.
oh, I'm getting
Mhm.
old. All right. So 2017,
Tell me
we,
about it.
right? You jumped back into the business. You were killing it for a little while, and then you took a little bit of time off, right?
Yeah.
Motherhood. You said, I'm gonna take care of my child for a little while. What is bringing you back? What have you been up to, and what is bringing you back into the game?
Well, first, yes, we know, God, family, business. There you go. That's how
Yep.
it goes, no matter what. Um, but there's so much going on right now. Multifamilies are booming, and it's just like, why am I going to watch everybody? I have the skills. I know exactly what to do. So I'm
Yep.
going to jump in and take over.
Yep. I love it. And what market are you in? Where are you living right now?
I'm in Raynham, but I still market in Brockton and Boston. Those are main based areas.
Yep. I like both markets. I like
Of course.
Brockton for rental properties, Boston for appreciation. So definitely makes sense. What are you seeing right now as far as opportunity where you're at? What are you looking at for the most?
Well, I always look at the facts. I try to be transparent with everybody. You could get marketing information from anyone nowadays, but let's look at the actual numbers. I've
Yep.
always been a number person, and that's just what I do. So currently, I would say the market, of course, multifamilies are always booming. There's
Yep.
always going to be a bit more
Yep.
multifamilies, but also single families are, still going too. So it's just like, they're still being sold. Every business is still being done,
Yep.
especially since I work with the cloud based brokerage now.
Yep.
So still going.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So Paula, what clients are you working with the most right now? Who are you seeing you enjoy most? Like, what is your ideal client?
Investors.
Yep.
There's no lead, there's no lack, there's no lead way with investors. It's straightforward. This is what you want. This is what I can get you. And business is done quickly.
Yeah.
So that is my favorite. And also because, I'm an investor myself.
Right.
So same mindset, and that's currently my goal right now. I
Yep.
spoke with you about also is getting more female investors on the map.
Yep.
No offense.
Yeah. Hey, not taken. I'm a white male, bro. Like, what do you want from me? Of course I gotta get rich. It was like in my blood.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of market out there. So my
Yeah.
goal is to definitely get a lot more female
Yeah.
investors out there, like myself, and
Yep.
then get going. Not just the realtor side. Let's get on the investor side.
Yeah. And I agree. I think that, and you and I shared this in our conversation. I've said this to a lot of investors and a lot of students that women actually are better equipped for this business, right? Like, what is our real job as an investor? Have a conversation with somebody and serve their need, right? Like, be able to figure out
Exactly.
what the person wants. Like, just it's conversation. What are women best at, right? Talking to each other, figuring
Hey,
out what the other one wants, and going and doing it, right? Like,
exactly.
it's what kept them in the bottom for so long, and yet their skill, their gift is actually better now in this economy than it's ever been. And
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
finding the
From
shift,
infant stage.
right? You think about it, right?
Yes, a born skill. Exactly.
Like,
And then also just
strength,
being consistent.
physical strength is not going to make you money in this era. It's got to be your mind.
Mhm,
It's got to be that
mhm.
feminine side. And me as a man, I've had to get more in touch with my feminine side to be successful as an investor because I got to deal with a whole bunch of people, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're equipped for this. I love that your mission is to bring more women into the investing arena.
Well, I always get so many questions, and of course, I'm not too sure why. Some women, are a little scared, but it's just like, I'm here, I'm ready. I can give you all of the information and get going, even though, sometimes some might take a little longer, but I'm right here with you.
Yeah,
So that's the point, I'm right here with you, and let's do it together. Even some investment deals, I have no problem joining with them. Of
right.
course, as long as
Partnering
we
up.
can write,
As long
ROI.
as there's enough meat on the bone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Exactly.
Everybody's got to win, right? You want to
Yeah.
invest, and if they want you to invest with them, they've got to make sure there's room for you to make money. Otherwise, what's the point? If this isn't a charity, this is a business. It's a
Hmm.
fun business, and you love it, but you got to make money too, and that makes sense.
Yeah. So currently I'm a full-time agent, well, realtor, and I'm a full-time investor.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what I always tell people is you can't be full-time in both. So you're a full-time agent and investing is part-time. We put a lot of effort into it. We love it. We put a lot of energy into it. But if your investment is full-time, you're a property manager. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, let's say,
Right?
yeah, let's
Like
say
my
75, 25.
most of my income, yeah, my income comes from agency, right? Like all of it. But I'm a mentor, right? Like my career is I go and I teach. But all my money, it comes from the properties. Yeah,
Mhm.
no doubt. Right. Now the real estate agency, if I were to pick one, if I meet somebody and I say, hey, do I carry, like they ask me, oh, are you a realtor? I carry my license, but I'm a mentor, right?
Yeah.
I pick the one that pays the most, right? Pick the
Yeah.
one
Which
that,
hat are you going to put on today,
right.
basically?
So who depends on the audience you're in front of. I would say in my audience, you want to be the realtor, right? It's going to help you. It's going
Mhm.
to add more benefit to you because you're an investor realtor, right? You're the realtor who understands investment, owns investment, and you're looking to empower women to own some more investments and get into it. And one of the issues, and tell me if you've heard this or experienced this, but as I'm teaching the room, I'll have people say, oh, I can't do that deal because my wife won't get down with it, right? Like I can't do that deal because my girlfriend, she's not interested in buying a multifamily. What you're looking to do is fix the relationship issues, right? Because it seems to be there's a lot of men willing to do it, but then
Yeah.
their wife or spouse or girlfriend is concerned, and you're here saying, look, I'm doing it, right? I'm a female. I know Darina
Hmm.
Pagodin is a woman in Worcester investing, and she owns a bunch of property. You're buying property. What would you say to the guy, right? Like, what advice would you give me to say to the guy or the husband or the boyfriend to say to his spouse, significant other, to get them on board?
Well, basically, I will just give them, of course, I will think about what their market is, and I'll just give them the actual facts of how the market's going in that neighborhood. If they're having issues as far as between themselves, then, of course, we
Send them
all
to a
come down to,
therapist.
sometimes the consulting road comes, the therapy road comes. And if they're willing to open up, it's okay. I'll give you my honest advice as far as that. But let's bring it back to the financial
Yeah,
aspect of your market, and I'll just tell them the truth, exactly what's going on in that market.
yeah. It really, you do think it comes down to the facts, and
I
that,
always go down to the facts and the numbers because at the end of the day, that's what we're going for.
right,
Correct?
right,
At the same time, I'm building that report.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
you're the mentor, taught me everything. you
Thank you.
know? I'm so proud. I'm so proud and happy for you with the whole mentorship. It's great.
Thank you. And so for everybody who's watching or listening, Paula joined our team back in 2017. She hustled. She quickly rose to the top of the team as far as people who were taking appointments, booking the calls. You were on Mojo beating everybody else. You were doing more calls than
Yes.
everybody else in the office. And even up in
Yeah.
Boston, I had calls from Tom telling me, Tom at Cameron, he was saying, wow, like who's this girl? Like, who is this? Because you were showing up on the ranking as the 300 agents. You were showing up in the ranking
Oh,
up in the top five. So it was like, climbing the ranks.
well, when I put my foot in, I jump.
Yeah,
I get straight to it. I don't waste my time when I take something very seriously. So,
absolutely. And you take that into your business. I love that. And
yes, yes.
that's one of the strengths about you is that you're a go-getter, right? You're determined. You're a go-getter. You've picked a niche that I think is very powerful. 2% of transactions are done with a female, right? They're done with a woman.
Hmm.
The woman is at least the deciding factor. There are only 8% of transactions in real estate that are
That
done
is
with
true.
just a man. So
Yes, that's true.
it's something to be aware of, right?
So
Now,
a strong woman behind, correct?
right,
Let's
right.
get to the front.
And here's another interesting fact. Women are responsible for 11% of sales are a woman alone. So women are actually buying alone, single women buy more real estate than single men.
Mm.
And then, so I think what the numbers state is that women are just more involved with real estate. They're just more in tune with real estate. And it's fascinating to me that there aren't more women investing yet. Because I do believe that we manifest what we talk about. So I don't want to say that they aren't. I
Yes.
want to say that they are.
I was going to
And they're
say that. Don't
becoming,
do that.
and they're diving more into.
Uh-huh.
And so it's fascinating because women are the deciding choice, right? And
Well, that is my job here to, get them on the map. That's my job, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm definitely going to stick to. My
I
promise,
love it.
I will say to the world.
Yeah, I love it because when you can get both people in a relationship, because that's who most investors are. Most investors are a man and a woman in a committed relationship.
Hmm.
That's 70 something percent of transactions are a man and woman committed in a relationship doing investments, right? Whether it's a single family or a multifamily,
Hmm.
like I'm an anomaly, right? And even me, when I started investing, I was married and I was investing with my wife at the time. So there are a bunch of couples out there who are just having a little disagreement. But if they had an agent like you who could say, as a woman, say, oh, I own real estate. Yeah, I love it. Here are the numbers. This is like, I know the stuff you're talking about. Here's how it works.
Hmm.
So just walk me through it. What does one of those conversations look like?
Well, basically, of course, the buyer, the couple, come to me,
Yep.
etc., with their wants, with their location, and I help them narrow it down. Okay, at the same time, you have to know it's truly what you want. I always ask them, what are the main three things that you were looking for within your first time home or your investment property?
Yep.
And I just narrow it down to exactly what they want, and then we jump out there and get going.
Yep.
And it's no, stop with me. I continue going full force so we get the job done. And then, of course, after that, it's just a repeated process,
Yeah.
you know?
The first one's the hardest. The first one's the worst one. After you buy that first property, it's like next one, third one, fourth one, it gets easier and easier.
Yes, yes. I have my client actually just bought a two family. We just got her a two family, and she's already thinking about refinancing and getting another. I just tell her it's a process. We'll get this
Yes.
going. And also, it's just like once you're prepared for crises, this
Yeah.
doesn't really, bother you. Once you're
Exactly.
prepared, things like this doesn't, bother you. And then also, it's if you wasn't prepared, this is your time and your opportunity to do kind of like a self audit. You understand?
Yep. I love
Yeah.
that. And you're right. Every investor right now is seeing this as opportunity. Every
Hmm.
investor has been sitting on the sidelines saying, I don't know, I don't know. Interest rates just
Absolutely.
dropped and sellers are scared. And we know that there's people right now who are just in a position where they can't kick out their tenants. So now they're like, you know what, this is the end. Final straw, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to own a multifamily anymore. And we're seeing that I
Mm.
think in the next 3 to 4 months, 3 to 6 months, like now's the time to start hunting and learning and reaching
Yeah.
out to an investor realtor. But I think in the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to see those properties start hitting the market. We may even start seeing them now, but it's coming because there are landlords who are just at the final stretch, and this has been what broke it. So I see. I don't know if because interest rates are so low, I don't know if the deals are going to be super sweet
Yeah, it's
deals.
kind of hard to, look at the shift right now because we know
Yeah,
how it's every 6 months. So it's kind of hard
yeah,
to, I would say, figure it out.
right.
But it's going to happen. So
An
that's what I'm letting
opportunity.
everybody knows.
Yep,
It's no chance it's going to happen. So
yep,
it's time to get ready now,
yep,
get your pre-approvals now, get whatever funds you need now.
yep,
Because it's going to happen and it's going to go for force. And it's either
yeah.
you with me or not.
Yep. And you're right. And now is the time, regardless of whether you want to buy in 3 months, 6 months, a year, now's the time to get pre-approved, right? Especially if you're doing an owner occupied and you need to line up your money. And even if you're going bigger properties, right? You haven't bought something in a while, you just want to jump in a commercial. Now's the time to go talk to a lender and say, how do I look? Like Like, it's like going to the doctor once a year. You just go and do a checkup.
Yes,
Like,
that's
how
exactly
do I
what
look
it is.
financially, right?
Like it's nothing scary. It's literally just a phone call. What's going
Yeah.
on? There you
And they'll
go.
let you know, like, okay, you can't buy this, or if you're going to
What
buy
to
this, you
look
have to do
for.
this, this, and this. So
Yep.
now you've got some time to go clean it up. The worst thing is you're ready, you think you're ready, and then you go to buy and you find out that either your credit is not good enough, or that you need a down payment, or something's not
Yes.
right lined up, or honestly, what's worse, you think that your credit needs to be at a certain level. You go to the lender and they're like, oh yeah, no, we could have pre-approved you 2 years ago, right?
Yep. Yep. That is the main conversation I have with a lot of first time buyers all the time, of them being worried of what they're approved for, or if they're credit or student loans. You know, it's like I always have to have that conversation of what is good debt, what is bad debt, and et
Yeah,
cetera. It's just a conversation, of course, with the loan officer, and it's simple. You know
absolutely.
what you need to do. If you're not prepared, now is the time to get prepared.
Right. If you weren't ready for this, now's the time to get ready,
Yeah,
because it's.
it is
I was listening to.
opportunity.
You're right. I was listening to Ray Dalio this morning, and he's thinking this
I
market's
did
going to last.
too.
Right? Yeah,
Oh, I love him. I listen
he's
to him
good.
like every morning.
He's
Yeah,
like the authority on the subject, right?
there you
So
go.
we're looking at a 2 to 3 year figuring of this out. We don't know what levers have been pushed that are going to have an effect down the road. So
Mhm.
it's really prepare now, so that when something chooses a direction and goes, you know which direction to go in, and you can move and
Exactly.
take those actions. And I mean, I'm in coaching calls left and right with my coaches, with other investors.
I
We're
see. I
talking, and
see. Yeah, I
and
see.
we're trying to figure out the best we can, and as best as we can see is this is going to continue, and it's going to continue in the direction of multifamily, and we're seeing multifamily improve and increase in value out of all the asset classes. This is the one that people need right now,
Hmm.
and we're seeing it become more valuable, and that's great news for us because we've always been in that arena. But
Exactly.
it's like for the other investors, right? You're going to see commercial investors, you're going to see industrial, you're going to see warehouse, you're going to see um, the other forms of investment start. Oh shit! Like,
Yeah.
like what do we do? And likely we're going to see them flood the market. I mean, there's a good chance they're going to flood the market, and they may shift over to multifamily. The smart ones will shift to multifamily.
We will see. And if
Yeah.
not, then we go to commercial.
Yep. That's right. Hey, if
Yep.
commercial finds a way to pull out of this, like absolutely, I'll be back in commercial. But
Yes, yes. Whatever's not working, they'll figure it out, and of course they'll
exactly.
definitely approve. But
Yeah.
yes, either way, it's still booming. I would say investments is still booming.
Yeah.
Multifamily is still booming. First time home buyers is still
Yep.
booming.
Yep.
So yeah, things are going well. Things are going well, and I love your attitude. Thank you. Your attitude is so contagious. It's
I know.
great.
Thank you, Paula. I
Yeah.
miss having you in the office. I mean, we couldn't do it now anyway with COVID-19, but like these Zoom calls, I love it. It's powerful.
It has worked. I tell you that. I'm able to get much more stuff done.
Yeah.
So it's great for me. It's working. Things are still going.
Yeah. I was telling everybody, like, I'm reaching out across the country on the Zoom calls now. On Saturdays, like we're talking to everybody on Saturday because it's a Zoom call, and it's not, hey, meet me in my office in Fall River. Like I've got my people in Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Florida, Texas, Arizona. We're all getting together and we're all coaching and talking about the same wealth principles. And
I was gonna
before,
say
like, I don't think I'll go back to doing a local event down here. I think it's just going to be a digital the way we're doing right now.
I just had that conversation yesterday. It was just like I'm able to speak to much more people because it's kind of same conversation.
Yeah.
So if everybody's just on at once, boom, done.
Yeah.
Everybody heard it. We all get more time to run to our list. So I'm putting together
Yeah.
actually a lot of different workshops. There will
Nice.
be first time home buyer workshops,
Perfect.
workshops with different lenders, workshops just for women. I
Very
am
cool.
putting together a lot of stuff. So, stay tuned for that also.
The workshops just for women, I definitely want to be a part of that. If there's any way I can promote that or help that,
Well, I have a couple of wigs. I just,
yep. Look, I'll be the bald guy who's in there saying, "Look, girls, you can do it." But I have other investors, other women who are doing really good that they've expressed the same concern with me. So I'd love to connect you guys,
That
and
would
for
be
sure,
great.
It's one of the things I've said for a long time, right? Most of my team is women, and most of my team, I'm telling them, go and buy real estate, and they're doing well. Like you're a perfect example of somebody who was on the team, an agent who's also investing in real estate. And
Mm-hmm.
it's you're a shining example of what a woman can do in this business. So yeah, I definitely want to be a part of that. In any way I can support you in that direction, definitely let me know. I
Yes.
will wear a wig. I will shave the beard and wear a wig. And
Yeah, why not? I
but
mean, you know how to do a dress, but
but to be authentic, I think that women have to hear it from a woman. You know, to be perfectly real, like hearing it from me saying, "Hey, you can do this. It works and it helps." But at the end of the day, hearing it from another woman saying, "Hey, this is what I'm doing," because I always the advice I give is listen to people who are doing it. Right? Don't take people heard about it, people know about it, like they've heard it from somebody else, but like unless you're doing it, you don't belong giving advice on the subject. And so you're doing it, you're in the industry, you have the same genitalia, so everybody can grasp and say, yup,
okay,
you can create
thank you.
babies, we can create babies, you know, these guys don't know
That's
about that.
great. Well, and also just I know the same struggles that you were going through, or particular of what I went through.
Right.
So we could all relate. It's just having someone that you could personally relate with
Yeah.
and be on the same page. And of course, when that happens, everybody feels much more comfortable, and we get business done.
I love it.
You know.
So Paula, what is the easiest way people can get in touch with you? If somebody was looking to buy a property in Brockton or Boston, what would be the easiest way for a woman to get coaching from you, or to go and start buying an investment property with you?
Well, I'd say text is the world right now, right?
Yep.
Everybody's texting, it's 1 second. So the easiest way to get in touch with me is through a text. 617-544-7578. Text me. Or you can just hit me up on Facebook. I would say that's the easiest way. Now, if you want to email me, we could do that too.
Or like, maybe I'll check it. Yeah.
But the quickest way is through text, 617-544-75878.
Very cool. So I want to make sure that people are coming to look for the opportunities that you're presenting. The other piece is if you go back to young Paula, right, like 21-year-old Paula, and give her 3 pieces of advice, what would you say? Further back, we made some mistakes. So 16-year-old Paula,
Okay.
what 3 pieces of advice would you give yourself to be more successful than you are today, or to get young people to where they want to be today?
Well, I would say I would basically start jumping in the industry earlier. Because a lot of people don't understand that their children, we're here to not only for ourselves, but, to build wealth for our children.
Right.
They can definitely jump in immediately at 18. So as long as it's jumping into the industry further, meeting with mentors like yourself way quicker, just building the education and the skills quicker, then that's basically it was. Don't waste your time. Don't lag. Just jump right into it.
I love that. That is solid advice.
Leap of faith.
Yep. Take a leap of faith. Believe in yourself. Go
Yes,
after it.
yes, that's
Very
what I was
good.
doing.
Paul, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm so happy to see your success. I love your mission. Keep doing it. And thank you for taking this call. I really appreciate you.
Yes, yes. Thank you for having me. And again, always tell your friends to work with the best. Paula, your favorite real estate agent.
That's right. When you have a choice, always work with the best.
Exactly.
Later,
Ciao.
Paul. Ciao.